He's 60. There's your short answer. Well, he's in his early 60s. Yeah, that's about it. But I want to cover some more specifics. The reason I'm doing this video is because our great powerful Snake has gotten some information wrong again. He made a video about the ages of Mortal Kombat characters. I didn't really pay attention to this because I don't like his content. It just comes on my recommended because YouTube hates me. And yeah, so I looked at it. Most stuff is just headcanons. I don't really agree with the majority of them. But he just outright gets Shujinko wrong when he covers Shujinko. We can take a listen.
Shujinko, according to developer diaries and interviews at the time of deception, is 13 when he meets Damashi.
That is correct.
Kombat described each subsequent form as being him in his 20s. He's explicitly 18 when he finishes his training, 30s and 40s, not specifying his final form's time frame. Ed Boon placed this Shujinko at around 60. It's worth noting here that Shujinko doesn't age entirely naturally. Even putting wonky timeline integration aside, he ages from his second to third form artificially in Chaos Realm, so he's actually around younger than he looks from this point onwards. I swear one of the devs once said the quest lasts 40 years, but I can't find where this was said.
We know how long the quest lasts.
That makes him around 50. So the quest would be around 40 years, so let's go with that. He is born around...
Yeah, so that's basically about it, you know. The rest doesn't particularly matter. There is some very incorrect information there.
1942. He first meets Damashi around 1955 at age 13. His quest begins in earnest around 1960 at age 18.
Cover this. I will cover this.
In 2002 around age 60. He then dies in 2004 around age 62. The second version becomes...
When I look at the second version of Shujinko, basically not a character. But yeah, it's not. That's not a correct overview of things. I'm not actually sure where he's gotten the idea that Armageddon takes place in 2004. I don't know where that comes from. Especially since there's definitely a time gap, but I don't see it as years. I could see 1 year at most, but it's more likely a few months. It's definitely in 2003 because Deadly Alliance takes place in late 2002. At least that seems to be the case. From what information we have, we can assume it is late 2002. I will again show that later. But yeah, it's one. I mean, Shujinko is basically the most complete Mortal Kombat character we've seen in his life. So we do know his ages, basically all times. The only thing that there's some confusion on is a couple of things. What his actual birthday is to determine on the year if he is a year old or not. But we have the rough knowledge, and Snake does too. And I would have let this slide, but he just makes up some bullshit about what the Chaos Realm thing does. But yeah, let me get into it, guys. Firstly, after his training with Boruto, he is age 18, at least seemingly. He could be 17, he could be 19. Again, it's not really clear. The conquest starts on year 1 and at the start of a year. And it could be argued that the month counter is not in line with the months of a year. It could be in line with the months that the quest has been going on for. So say the quest had actually begun in June. Month 1 could then be June. So that's something to take into consideration. I think that's unlikely, but yeah, there are some things we need to point out so that I'm making it clear that there is no concrete answer, but we know the general age with maybe a couple years most taken away. And I say maybe 19 because this year 1, we know it starts as 13, but during year 1, he might turned a boy unless his like birthday is literally on the first. Again, though, like this might not be an indicator for the actual start of a new year. We don't know. So yeah, that's what I mean about like potential inaccuracies, but we do have the general idea, you know. So yeah, I'm going with 18 because I presume that's the idea they're going for, where it's a 5 year gap. So we're looking at like each time jump here to get a general idea of like the age range he'd be in at this time. So yeah, he's 18 or 9. I don't know why I say when I was 17. Yeah, I don't think he could be. So yeah, he's like a young adult at this point, right? That's the whole point, you know. He's done his training and now he's ready for warrior. And then you got the chaos round, weird piss coloured water. That is a decade jump in time, and it does add some months, so it comes to the end of a year, which is interesting. It doesn't really matter too much, but I will be taking in consideration. And yes, an actual decade did go by. Let me show you. When talking to Damashi, Shujinko, like mentions how he feels like he's older, whatever, and basically Damashi just says, "Indeed, you have. Many years have passed since you first entered this realm." So yeah, there is confirmation right there that like time actually passed. That's actually a decade gone from his life. He didn't just age up. Even if you think him aging artificially is a bad explanation, you're doing this age video for like going over like actual canon. So I don't know why he brought it up, unless it's a misconception. I don't know. It probably is, but I just do proper research. Like, come on, how did you know this was a decade? And just never pay attention to like the interaction with Damashi after. I don't know. Again, add that to a plethora of reasons. I do not like Snake. He's just not a law master. He's just not. This is wrong. I've contradicted him here. Many years have passed. So yeah, it's been a decade. So Shujinko. And also just for some added fun, he basically Damashi describes it as time-altering agent. So time has passed, but you have not perceived it. So yeah, that's what's happened. Time has literally passed. Damashi said so. So yeah, moving on to after his cleansing, his training with Nightwolf with the Matoka. Well, this is before the Matoka was established, but you know, with Nightwolf's people regardless. Like I said, you know, it adds a few months, so actually it adds on, and like it takes you to another year of the quest, alongside another decade jump. So he is like 39 here. Again, if we take count that, you know, year one, he might have like a birthday year. He might be 40. So yeah, like late 30s, maybe 40s. That's what we're looking at here. Then we've got older boy Shujinko, and he is 60. And yeah, it takes you to October, I believe. Oh wait, no, it's the start of the year. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought, and I maybe it depends on the playthrough. I don't know what month when I took a screenshot I was at previously, but yeah, you're on year 47 of the quest at that point. So I that with 13, he is 60. You know, again, maybe 59. You know, like if his birthday is literally at the start of the year. But it has been stated that this is him in his 60s by like developers and Ed Boon. Albeit I don't really take Ed Boon's word for much, because Ed Boon, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But yeah, he's definitely in his early 60s is the idea here. Now in terms of the month, the month is odd. I still feel like logically it's supposed to be at the end of 2002. But yeah, I don't know. It could still be 2002 by the main event. I'm just stating like possibilities here. I don't want to like mislead with information, unlike some YouTubers, and then not clarify like the other possibilities. So yeah, so when he comes to face Onaga, it might be 2003. Again, it just depends on like the month, and stuff. Because I don't know. It is possible. So yeah, he's still early 60s basically. And Armageddon, again, I still feel like it's a few months most. So I'm probably going to say 2003 at the latest. I think 2004 is a massive reach. There might be evidence for that, but I don't know. I feel like I would have seen it by now. So I don't know anything about that, so I'm not going to state that. I don't think there's any concrete evidence on how long's passed from Deception to Armageddon, but it hasn't been much time, So yeah, that is my answer. 60-year-old Shujinko, which that means he was born in like 1942, around that point, be that old. So that's cool. I love how we know the specifics there, but again, it's not specific enough that we have every fine detail noted down. But yeah, Shujinko, the most complete Mortal Kombat character. We basically know everything about him except like his parents, I guess. So yeah, very cool. Please don't take Boss Snake's word for everything. It's YouTubers like him that, start misconceptions and spread misinformation across this already very impressionable, brain-dead fandom. So I want to make this video to change it, even though I'm just a tiny channel. But whatever, I'll feel better now that I've covered this. So yeah, to answer the question of how old actually is Shujinko, it is 60, possibly 61, possibly 62 by Armageddon, but that's a push. So yeah, Shujinko's great. And thank you for watching this video. If you have any information about this apparent Armageddon 2-year time jump, let me know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's bullshit. Anyway, bye.